Today's team showcase is looking very strong for Ultra League, so I'd suggest that you stay till the end of this video because we're having some really bad leads that Dragonite is afraid of, and this team is definitely gonna play around those very bad leads successfully, so you need to check out this video. We're looking at a very strong team, and lately I have seen that the Dark Poisons are getting pretty popular in Ultra League, and this team is none other than a Dark Poison Abuser team. So we're gonna use here our Swampert pretty effectively, I believe, against their own Alolan Mach, and at this point Earthquake is just gonna dominate against this Pokemon. We're gonna see the Shield. While I was not expecting it, perhaps they could expect the Hydro Cannon, but this trainer definitely did expect the Earthquake, which is pretty neat for them, but still I know that I can overfarm a lot at this point and still pressure for my moves. As it seems here, this is gonna be an Acid Spray, and right now I'm gonna get to my Hydro Cannon. This will bring the Alolan Mach super close to dying after I get to that great, not the excellent, because I wanted to survive with a little bit of HP so that I can farm down some extra. Now I can reach to the Earthquake and the Sludge Wave for the ultimate combo to finish off Poliwrath, so we're gonna take this victory to start off the video. A very bad lead into the next one, and we're having the Aurorus up in front. Unfortunately, we do not have the very safe switch for this Pokemon, but still Mach can provoke something from the back. It is gonna be a Poliwrath, so nothing that we can be kinda good against, but still we can pressure a lot with that Sludge Wave. As you can see, we got hard countered up in front. We got a very bad switch in against this Poliwrath, which can eventually finish us off, and now we're gonna go in with our Dragonite. I have a feeling that if they get to the Ice Punch we can survive, but as it seems they can just farm down right after with those counters. Just gonna preserve my shields here for the Swampert because I know that they have Aurorus and my Dragonite will be most likely kinda useless. And at this point they're gonna return into the battle with Aurorus. This made me think, what could they have at the back? So I'm gonna go straight for the Earthquake to surprise my opponent. They definitely expected the Hydro Cannon because I knew they could survive. That's why I went for that extra mile and the Earthquake to surprise them. And at the back there is gonna be an Ampharos. So all we have to do here is to reach to back-to-back moves, and as it seems, because they're Shadow as well, perhaps one Hydro Cannon will seal the deal. They're trying to catch on the Poliwrath. Hopefully we went for the extra mile with that Mudshot, and now we can reach to the next Hydro Cannon to finish them off with this, and that is gonna be a great game. Swampert up in front. Finally we catch a break with our Dragonite, and we're having here Snorlax coming in pretty clutch against our Pokemon. You know what, this is super interesting because still we cannot switch out yet. I'm just gonna go for the superpower and now switch out to clear the debuff, and I was hoping to do that pretty earlier, but still they decide to take the move, and at this point I can charge up even more against their Swampert. I want to clear the debuff though as soon as possible because I have a feeling that we're gonna be in deep trouble, and at this point we're gonna get to the Earthquake, which surprisingly doesn't knock us out. Perhaps they went for the great, they want to farm a little bit extra, but that was obviously a mistake, or just deals that much of a damage, but I thought we could go down anyways. So here comes now Dragon Claw, which is just gonna almost take out this Swampert, and I'm gonna get to back because they might have the energy needed for the next move. As it seems they didn't, so I did the unthinkable here and went for that very bad move. But anyways, they have the Charizard with the Blast Burn. I know we can survive one, this is no shadow at all, so no biggie for our Alolan Mach, and one Dark Pulse will just take out of the way Charizard. So you might be thinking, Ganeto, if they sealed it here they could eventually finish you off. Well, you're not wrong, but still we had some energy on our Dragonite, and I believe that my opponent knew that, so that's why they just took the move. Just in case it was an Acid Spray, that was their only win condition. So yeah, into the next one now with the Scrafty up in front. After Swampert we're getting another good lead against this Scrafty, and we're having Gengar over here. So Gengar is just gonna go out of the battle right after, and they're gonna follow with their own Alolan Mach. You know what, we are looking pretty solid at this point because those Sludge Waves are just gonna do a decent amount of damage, and also they're getting to the Acid Spray, which is pretty neat for me. I know that now if they get to the Dark Pulse it will be more than enough to finish me off, even resist it, because after this debuff we are not looking that great. So Swampert definitely gonna go in against this Pokemon, and we're gonna keep Dragonite at the back. So Hydrocan will most likely one-shot down this Pokemon, nothing to worry about. Now gonna go in with my Dragonite, catching the Focus Blast. I was trying to catch something like a Shadow Ball, but still Focus Blast kinda surprised me, and still we go down, but we took the victory after all, since we got 2 shields and the Swampert at the back. So yeah, pretty fun battle overall against this opponent. Into the next one now with the Charizard up in front. You know what, those Dragon Claws are gonna be exchanged, but we cannot tank one because one can be kinda deadly to our Shadow Dragonite. Hopefully though we can outspeed to the next one and win that CMP, which is pretty cool. And on this point I'm just gonna let my Dragonite go down because I'm having those shields up and alive while they have none, and we can take advantage of that. So trying to completely farm down here with my Swampert. They are trying to switch out to the Waller, and you know what, I'm pretty fine by this because I can overfarm a lot, still reach to that Earthquake and try to catch perhaps an Icicle Spear on my Mac. Yeah, that is not gonna work at all, but still if I can block correctly here the Earthquake, we can definitely go ahead and completely farm down, I believe. So they're gonna reach to another move. This time it is gonna be the Icicle Spear for sure, which means that we can survive and get out of here with 2 Dark Pulses worth of energy. So Charizard comes into the battle, just gonna undercharge it, but yeah, that was already too much to handle for the Charizard. At the back they have a Ghost type, and of course Alolan Mac is just gonna dominate this battle with its amazing back-to-back Dark Pulses once again. So definitely a very good strategy to use a Dark Poison on your team lately in Ultra League. So Swampert up in front, and we're just gonna go in there with our Dragonite full power. They're having Pidgeot on the switch. You know what, I'm just gonna use my superpower, trying to surprise them. Perhaps they could let that Dragon Claw go through, but the superpower, if they let it, it could be kinda deadly for them. But as it seems, they want to stay in and of course shield their Pidgeot. I will respond right after with my Mac on the switch, and I have a feeling that we can definitely finish them off with the next Dark Pulse. Even if that's gonna be a Brave Bird, I can be pretty fine with it because I can definitely go in with my Dragonite and start farming down. Just gonna let it go through. It cannot be a Brave Bird because I had 2 shields and I was expecting the Feather Dance actually, and at this point I'm just gonna clear the debuff on my Swampert. We managed to catch one move, but that was not the plan after all, because as it seems they're having a lot of play against me since they have more energy for sure. However, we got the shield advantage and we can definitely reach to back-to-back moves here against this Swampert. One for the shield, one for the knockout. Let's get that knockout on the opposing Swampert on the mirror, and they're having Obalion at the back, which is pretty cool for me, and we're just gonna force that top left from this battle from our opponent. Into the final one now, and I have kept the best for the end because we're having hard counter up on the lead, hard counter at the back. How can we possibly win this one? Well, guess what? We have to bait because we're a Shadow Swampert, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna seal. They definitely want to maintain that lead advantage with their Tapu Fini against my Dragon type Pokemon, and with that in mind, I can still pressure with my Earthquake over here. So as it seems, it might be depending on what they have as their third Pokemon, and if it is not gonna be something like a Swampert, perhaps we're gonna have a chance, because we cannot get triple hard countered, right? Not right, yeah, I know, sometimes it happens. But anyways, gonna go down now to the move. Dragonite can go in, just gonna let everything that they're gonna throw in, since I know that I need my shield for the end game, and it is gonna be the Scavalier. So triple hard countered over here. How can we possibly win these trainers? I mean, this is looking pretty rough for me. But anyways, they have the Scavalier. We're gonna go for that final shield to be used for us. So both trainers here, me and my opponent, have no shields at all in play, and we can reach now to the knockout move against this poor Scavalier. Tapu Fini is returning. Hopefully we have farmed up a lot of energy against the Scavalier, and we're gonna reach to the Sludge Wave. Big damage on that Pokemon. Coming into the battle now with Dragonite, and even though they can finish us off with a Moonblast, I'm pretty sure that now we have definitely the upper hand. Alolan Mac is no joke at all, but look at that, trainers. I made the worst calculation ever, and we're gonna go down to this opponent. So we definitely had a chance here. Mistakes were happening all the time from both ends, but overall we managed to have a very close ending, and I'm pretty sad that we lost the last battle. Anyways, that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of my content here on YouTube. With that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.